Hey guys, Will from PowerTraders.com. Today I'll be doing another weekly analysis on the US indices. So let's first start off with the NASDAQ. As you guys know, we'll be looking at this index pretty closely. As you guys can see here, it's having a bit of a rebound. So far we have come back above this green line here at 14,400, and so far we had two candles. If you look on the daily, we have had two candles. So far the one on Friday and so far the one today, we're able to hold this green line here. And of course we got a retest down here also. So far we are holding this area here, right? Price is holding this area here. Now of course that doesn't mean that we could come back down and test this level here. We could also get a rejection, basically another breakout, which could cause us to come back down even lower. It's hard to say, right? The market's very volatile. But nonetheless, the volatility index has been, it's been dropping. Let me log it out. You can see here it's fell quite significantly already. And if you look at the VIX, that's also even more pronounced on the VIX. You guys can see here we're back to these levels down here on the VIX. Now that being said, we could get another spike, right? It's really hard to say, and we also have earnings coming out. Let's look at the S&P. You guys can see here the S&P is holding up a bit better than the NASDAQ. You can see here that, let me go on the 8 hour here. You can see that we came down here, and you guys remember I said that this red line here is a key level that we want to hold, right? You see all these touches here and here, and you guys can see here, although there is this one big wick here, we've managed to close every single candle above this red line here, except for I think that one there, but pretty much all above this red line here, telling us, basically the market's telling us this is a big support area here. And you guys can see here we've recovered quite nicely. I think we've retraced about a third of this decline here, almost half when it went all the way up here. Right now we're finding some support level here. Let's see what happens in the coming days. The playbook obviously looks very similar to the NASDAQ. We're just basically waiting for to see whether price break this level or moves higher, right? The Russell 2000 small caps. The small caps seems to be getting the most selling pressure. You see here, the S&P recovering nicely. The NASDAQ seeing a little bit of a jump, right? A little bit of a jump here, but if you look at the Russell, it hasn't really moved that much, right? You can see here it hasn't really moved up that much. It's still well below the major support level, right? We want to see price climb back up back above this level here, which has been key level for a really long time, since 2021 has been trading sideways. But nonetheless, the Russell looking the most bearish here of the index, in my opinion. The Dow Jones, in my opinion, is holding up the best, right? The value trade is holding up the best against apparently the current, inflation and rate hike theme that's going around the market right now. It seems that value has been performing the best, and that is reflected in the Dow Jones. You guys can see here it clearly has retraced half of the half of the losses made here. It pretty much retraced half of the losses already, so it's holding up really well here. In fact, it's up 0.5% today, holding support, moving a little higher today. So let's see what happens in the coming days. Let's see if price could come back up to this line here at 35,500. You see this area has served as resistance here and support level here, as well as resistance here, right? So let's see what happens in the coming days if we can see price come back up to this level here. All right, let's take a look. Actually, before that, let's look at some hype stocks. As you guys know, ARKK has been absolutely getting wrecked. I thought that there's a really good chance we'll come back down to this green line here, right, corresponding with this level here right before the crash. So this is a really strong support level. It's roughly around 60. We didn't come back down to 60 when we came down to roughly around 65. Nonetheless, price is kind of consolidating in this range for the pretty much past week, range between 77 75. The price could still come back down. This consolidation, right, kind of reminds me of this a bit, right? We could kind of trade kind of sideways for a bit, and then another dump comes, right? and so I do think these hype stocks, whether it's ARKK, something a bit more institutionalized like this one, XTIK, you know, I really do think if there's weakness in the market again, right? If the S&P all of a sudden sells off again and comes down to test this level here, right, at 4,300, what do you think is going to happen in ARKK? It's absolutely going to get wrecked if the market, if the volatility in the market picks up again, you know, to the downside. All right. Other good news: Bitcoin's up, back above 40,000. That's great. You guys can see here it's back above 40,000. Also, well back above 43,000. You guys see here it's trading at 44,300. I'll have a video coming out soon, but you guys can see here this is great for the market. You get there has been some correlation between these hype stocks and Bitcoin. Let me show you guys what I mean. The correlation is not that strong, but you can kind of see the past month since the sell-off. You can see the correlation is pretty is there, right? You guys can see here, although Bitcoin seems to be doing a bit better right now. All right, let's take a look at the economic calendar really quickly before we end this video. Just give me a second. Okay, US dollar. Okay, so we have short-term energy outlook, crude oil, FOMC member speed. We do have core CPI coming up on Thursday, and of course our usual initial jobless claim on Thursday. That's going to be pretty interesting. Then we also got the Fed monetary report coming out Friday. So it seems like in terms of economics, quite a bit of data coming out this week. Let's see here. Look, for some reason this is not loading. Anyways, we got SoftBank. I apologize, I'm not really sure why this is not loading. Let me see if I can look at another website. Okay, we do have Alibaba coming out today. Which is an option for you. That's why I like to use Business Insider, because it tells you, it goes by you know, the market cap, right? So okay, I think it is working now. Let's see here. Okay, so today we got Pfizer, Toyota Motors, Coca-Cola, Disney, PepsiCo, AstraZeneca. Saw Alibaba earlier, right? SoftBank, Alibaba. So a decent amount of earnings coming out this week. So definitely keep a close eye on the market. As I said earlier, you know, the S&P and Dow Jones is holding up pretty well, but I do still see a bit of risk on the Nasdaq, as well as the the hype ETFs, the hype stocks. You know, if volatility picks up again, you know, the Nasdaq could easily drop another 5 to 10%. And what's going to happen if the Nasdaq drop 5 to 10%? You know, these hype stocks are absolutely going to get wrecked. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content.